Hello everyone, this is Lakshmi Hattioli, Assistant Professor, Department of Civil Engineering, KLS VDIT, Haryal. I welcome you all for the lecture series on Strength of Material subject with the subject code 18CV32. So today's lecture number is 7. So let's check out the things which we have covered in the previous session. So in the previous session, we have derived deformation equation for tapering rectangular and tapering circular section, right? So we have also solved numerical examples on tapering rectangle and tapering circular sections. Okay, so as of now, see, we have derived deformation equation for a uniform bar PL upon AE, and we have derived for tapering circular and tapering rectangular section. So when a combination is given to you, so you should choose the formula appropriately, and that formula has to be used to find out the algebraic sum deformation of the entire section. Okay. So let's check out what are the today's topic level objectives. Today we shall study compound bars, that is composite bars, its definition, concept and compatibility equations. And we shall also study numerical examples on compound bars. See, the word itself indicates compound bar. In the previous sessions, we have solved a single bar which is subjected to axial load, and we have found out stress, strain, deformation, Young's modulus and so on, all the parameters, right? So now when a composite section is given to you, that is a section or a member which is made up of more than one material, okay, such a bar or a section is called as a composite section or a compound bar. So compound bar is the member which is made up of more than one material. So in this composite section, materials are placed in parallel, and under the load the section behaves like a single material. So you can see, take the best example is a concrete column, RCC column, right? See, RCC column, it is made up of steel as well as concrete, right? So when I say a column member, see, I'll not differentiate it as a steel and concrete. I'll simply call it as a RCC column. So which is made up of two members, one is concrete and one is steel. And observe carefully, you can observe any RCC column. When you apply the load, okay, as per our assumption and practically, steel as well as concrete will undergo same amount of deformation. This will be our assumption, right? So you should understand this, that a compound bar, when you apply a load, it behaves as a single unit, okay, and it undergoes same amount of deformation, right? So this is the concept of compound bar. I'll show you an example. So as I said, I have given you an example of RCC column. We shall study another example. As you can see in this picture, okay, so here at the central portion you have a steel bar. So basically this is a circular section. This steel bar is coated with the copper tube. So you can see this is a longitudinal section basically. So a copper tube shaded area has been shown here. So element 1, that is material 1, is copper, material 2 is steel, and observe carefully, the length of steel and copper is same. Of course it may be different in some cases also in some composite bars, but in this example length of copper and length of steel is same. And for this particular section I am applying an axial load P here, okay. So when I apply a load P, okay, this load carrying capacity, this is shared by steel as well as copper, right, depending on its strength, right? So that's why you can see my first equation, my first compatibility equation, I can write it as applied load P is equal to load carried, that is load taken by steel plus load taken by copper. So PS plus PC, correct? So total load can be written as PS plus PC. So both are equally responsible to take the applied load. But you cannot say PS is equal to PC, because see, both the material has their own load carrying capacity, right? The material is different, the Young's modulus is different, right? So that's why I can say total load P is equal to PS plus PC. And as I said, see, in a composite section the deformation remains same. It may be in terms of steel or copper, we assume that the deformation is same. That's what you can observe in the second picture, okay. The dotted line indicates that, see, the dotted line indicates the deformation. So when I apply a load P, it has undergone the deformation, right? So this deformation is same in copper and it is same in steel. Okay, so that's why I can say that delta L is equal to delta L steel, which is equal to delta L copper. Okay, either you can take it as delta L or DL, one and the same. So delta L, total delta L is equal to, so delta L steel, which is also equal to delta L copper. So if you calculate any one of the delta L, that is equivalent. Okay, so observe carefully, this is a uniform bar. This is not a tapering bar. So for uniform bar, the deformation formula which we have already derived is PL upon AE. Right? P is the applied load, L is the length of the member, A is the cross-sectional area and E is the Young's modulus, PL upon AE. So I can say for this particular figure, PL upon AE for steel should be equal to PL upon AE for copper, right? So by using these compatibility equation, I can find out every time I can find out load carried by steel or load carried by copper. Or when I get the load, I can easily calculate stress, load by area. So that means I can calculate stress in copper and stress in steel. So all these can be calculated with these two compatibility equations. Okay. So let's study another concept, modular ratio. So this modular ratio, I'll be using it in my numerical examples. See, modular ratio, it is the ratio between two materials, okay, of Young's modulus. So let's say that you have a two material, steel and copper, okay, or let's say that you have two materials, steel, okay, let's take an steel and concrete. So you have two materials, steel and concrete. Young's modulus of steel and Young's modulus of concrete. Okay, so now when I take a ratio of Young's modulus of steel and Young's modulus of concrete, that ratio is called as modular ratio. Okay, so you can see an example. Modular ratio for steel and concrete is 15. That is ES by EC. Young's modulus of steel divided by Young's modulus of concrete, it is 15. So usually in numerical examples, they'll not give you the direct values. Young's modulus of steel and concrete is so and so. So they'll give you in terms of modular ratio, that is Young's modulus of steel and concrete is 15. So this ratio you have to use it in your numerical example. Okay. So let's check out one numerical example on compound bar. Okay. So before going to the numerical example, let's study the procedure, how to solve a compound bar to calculate the load and stress in the each member. So observe this picture carefully, which is shown here. Okay, observe the picture. Let me take a pointer here. So observe this picture. So one side it is completely fixed and you have two materials, material 1 and material 2. Okay, and the length of two material is same, that is L. I am applying a load P. So that's what I have taken here. P is equal to total load on the member. L is length of the bar. L2 is length of the bar. In this case it is same, so I can take it as L. A1 is area of the bar 1. A2 is area of the bar 2. E1 is Young's modulus of the bar 1. P1 is load shared by 1. P2 is load shared by element 2. Okay, so as I have already explained the compatibility condition, I can write P is equal to P1 plus P2. Correct? Next. So with this, I can also see when I get the value for P1, I can also calculate sigma 1. Correct? So sigma 1 is P1 upon A1, load carried by member 1 divided by cross-sectional area of member 1. Next, see when I get stress, I can calculate strain. Strain in member 1 is equal to stress in member 1 divided by Young's modulus, because we know that Hooke's law, right? Hooke's law is stress divided by strain. So with that I have used this, substitute sigma P by A, which is P by A into E, right? So I can also use the elongation delta L formula, PL upon A, right? So these equations can be used further to go for the numerical examples. So whatever I have done for the section 1 now, similar kind of I can do it for section 2 also. Okay, delta L2 is equal to PL upon AE, P2 L2 upon A2 E2. Okay, so whatever the things which we have done in the previous slide, same thing I can carry out in section 2. So similarly, as I have already stated in my previous slides, Deformation in both the materials should be same, right? So I can say delta L1 is equal to delta L2, correct? So with this I can write PL upon AE for element 1 is equal to PL upon AE for element 2. Observe carefully, the length of two members were same in my case. So that is why commonly I have taken L. Suppose if length is different, I could have taken it L1 and L2, right? So suppose let's say that even the cross sectional area is also same for both the materials. So then I can simply write, instead of writing A1 A2, I can write it as A. Okay, so that's how the understanding goes. Now with this, once if you write this compatibility equation PL upon AE for 1 and which is equal to PL upon AE for 2, whatever the question has been asked to determine, I can easily find out. So that means, see, observe carefully, suppose LAE for both the material is given to you, I can calculate P1, P2, right? So see, just I'll write an equation P2 in terms of P1. So with this, I'll get an equation P2 is equal to something of P1. So that I'll be substituting in my first compatibility equation. I can easily get P1, P2, okay, by a simple mathematical operations. So this is how you can calculate load in each member. So once the load you have got, you can calculate the stresses, sigma 1 and sigma 2. So stress in material 1 and stress in material 2. Okay. So basically, whenever you will be solving compound bars, you need to remember two things. One is the first load carrying equation. Second one is deformation equation, right? So deformation equation and the load carrying equation. Only with these two compatibility equation, you can solve the problems. Okay. So let's see a numerical example. So I have already discussed whenever you will be solving any numerical example. Okay. First thing is, when you start reading the question, go on writing the given condition. That's how it will help you. Okay. See, a reinforced concrete column. So you have a column of size 500 mm by 500 mm. Okay. The sectional area is 500 mm by 500 mm. Is required with 4 steel bars of 25 mm diameter, one in each corner. So everything has been specified to you. So you can see the diagram even. So this is 500 by 500 mm column. You have 4 steel columns, oh, sorry, 4 steel bars, okay, of each diameter 25 mm. So this is the column, concrete column. You have steel bars 4, one at each corner of diameter 25 mm. The column is carrying a load of 1000 kilonewton. Okay, so capital P is given to you, total load carried by steel as well as concrete. The total load carrying capacity is given to you, that is 1000 kilonewton. So now your question is, find stress in concrete and steel. So sigma S and sigma C is a question mark to you. Take Young's modulus of steel is equal to 210 gigapascal and Young's modulus of concrete is 14 gigapascal. So in the previous session, I have already told you how to convert gigapascal to Newton per mm square, right? So you can use that conversion. So let's see the given condition and solution now. Area is given to you 500 mm by 500 mm. So I can calculate the concrete area, that is entire column area 500 into 500. Okay, so 2,50,000 mm square. Number of steel bars is 4. So see, a steel bar number is 4 and it is a circular section. So I can easily calculate the area for steel, right? See, you have 4 steel bars. Let's calculate the area for only one steel bar. So this is a circular section. What is the area for a steel bar? Since it is a circular, pi by 4 d square. Okay, d is already given to you 25 mm. So pi by 4 d square into number of bars, that is into 4. So that's what has been done here. AS is equal to 4 into pi by 4 d square, that is d is substitute 25 mm, you will get it in mm square. Next, sigma S and sigma C, this is your question mark. Okay, so P is given to you, that is 1000 kilonewton, convert in Newton, that is into 10 raised to 3. Okay, so let's see the solution now. Area for steel, that is, as I said, 4 into pi by 4 d square, 1963 mm square. Next, area for concrete. See, concrete, see, I am talking about concrete now. So total column area is 500 into 500. So in this, I should subtract the area for steel. So then I will get the area for concrete. Correct? So if you subtract this steel bars in this entire area, then you will get area for concrete. Correct? So area for concrete is equal to 2,50,000 minus 1963. You will get this concrete area. Okay, next. See, next either you have many steps to proceed now. I have already discussed. After this you can write an equation. P is equal to PS plus PC, that is capital P, which has already been given to you, 1000 kilonewton, which is equal to load carried by steel plus load carried by concrete, PS plus PC. So write this equation as 1. And next you can write out PL upon AE for steel should be equal to PL upon AE for concrete. With that, get an equation for PS is equal to something of PC. Reverse substitute, then you will get the answer directly for load carried by steel and load carried by concrete. So once if you get the load, you can easily calculate stress, that is load by area. Or else, you can also remember this sigma S is equal to ES by EC into sigma C. Okay, so this has been already discussed in the previous session, previous slide. So use this and you will get an ratio in terms of sigma S is equal to sigma C. See, this ratio can be calculated in terms of sigma or in terms of load. Next, I have used this equation. Total load is equal to PS plus PC. So PS in the sense sigma S AS plus PC in the sense sigma C AC. So substitute, take this sigma C outside. Okay, back substitute the answer. You will get it answer as stress in concrete as 3.6 megapascal and stress in steel as 54 megapascal. Right? So that's what was the question to you. So this is the first numerical example on compound bars. See, a compound bar, many textbook will give you many solutions for this. I mean, the steps may differ. You may either calculate in terms of load initially or you can directly calculate in terms of stress. It is left to you. However you feel it easy, you can proceed. Okay. Let's see another example of compound bar. Observe this carefully. You have 35 kilonewton load, suspended load, which is suspended with the help of two steel bars and one aluminium bar. You have two steel bar and one aluminium bar and it is fixed at the top edge. Okay. So a block has been shown here, 35 kilonewton is supported on three wires. The outer two wire are of the steel and have an area of 100 mm square. So steel area is given to you 100 mm square each. Just concentrate on the word each. Okay, next, whereas the middle wire is aluminium and has an area of 200 mm square. Okay, and the total load is 35 kilonewton. Next, Young's modulus is given to you for steel and aluminium. Steel it is 200 gigapascal, aluminium it is 80 gigapascal, convert in Newton per mm square. Now the question is calculate stress in aluminium and stress in steel. So since it is made up of two or more material, it is absolutely a compound bar. Correct? So let's go for the solution now. So total P is equal to PS plus PC. So load carried by steel and load carried by not PC, aluminium. PS plus PA, steel plus aluminium. Correct? So total is 35 kilonewton, convert in Newton, that is 35 into 10 raised to 3 newtons. Okay. So steel area has been given to you. It was each area, so I have multiplied 2 into 100. Next, aluminium, it is 200 mm square. Young's modulus of steel I have converted in Newton per mm square. Similarly for aluminium. Okay. Now let's study. Use the same previous equations. See, you can use the first compatibility equation in terms of PL deformation itself. PL upon AE for steel, which is equal to PL upon AE for aluminium. Okay. So delta LS is PL upon AE. See, instead of writing PL upon AE, P by A is nothing but sigma. So I have taken it as sigma S. Sigma S into LS divided by ES. Okay. Similarly, deformation in aluminium, delta LA. So sigma A into LA divided by EA. So P by A into L divided by E. So you can also take it as simple way, delta L is equal to PL upon A. So you will get an idea clearly instead of taking sigma. So if you are used to PL upon E, you can take that, or else you can use sigma even. So I have equated this because we know that deformation in steel and aluminium should be equal. So I have equated this and I'll get an equation in terms of sigma S is equal to something of sigma A. So here I got sigma S is equal to 2.5 sigma A. Okay. So use this in my first equation, that is load is equal to PC plus PA plus PS. See, just observe the way I have written PS here. See, PS is stress is load by area, so load is equal to stress into area. Sigma SAS plus sigma A. Okay, so you can simplify and use it. You will understand clearly. Okay, so substitute, back substitute, and take out the sigma A outside. You will get it as 50 Newton per mm square or 50 megapascal. Similarly, sigma S, that is 2.5 sigma A, which we have taken this condition here. So you will get it as 125 megapascal. Okay, so this was a second example from compound bars. Let's see another example from a compound bar. This is a longitudinal section. This is a cross section. Okay, this is longitudinal section. Yellow color indicates copper tube. Okay, and this ash color indicates steel tube. So the question is, you have a steel tube of diameter 25 mm. Okay, you have a steel tube of diameter 25 mm, which is coated with the copper tube at the outer edge, having a diameter 30 mm. So copper tube is 30 mm and steel tube is 25 mm. Okay, so that's how this is a cross section. When you take a longitudinal section, this is how you're going to observe this. And as it is given in the question, an axial load of 40 kilonewton is applied. So axial load 40 kilonewton has been shown to you. So reading the question, you are supposed to draw the diagram. So 40 kilonewton axial load is given to you and diameter is given to you. Okay, middle steel rod 20 mm diameter, 300 mm long. So length is given and is enclosed centrally inside a hollow copper tube of external diameter 30 mm and internal diameter 25 mm. So this copper tube is basically hollow tube. So inside steel tube is as actually a solid tube. So that's why inside completely shaded you can see this is a solid tube. So copper tube is actually a hollow tube. Okay, so hollow tube of external diameter 30 mm, internal diameter 25 mm. Okay, see when I say hollow, you should be able to calculate the area for a hollow tube. See, simple circular area is pi by 4 d square. Okay, so when I say hollow tube, subtract external diameter minus internal diameter. That is the main thing. So that is area remains pi by 4 d1 square minus d2 square. External area diameter square minus internal diameter square, d1 square minus d2 square. So that's the only extra thing you're supposed to use in this numerical example. And observe carefully, length is same for steel as well as copper, right? So Young's modulus is also being given to you and they have asked you to find out stress in rod and tube, that is copper tube. Let's see the solution. So diameter of steel rod 20 mm, external diameter of copper tube 30 mm, internal diameter of copper tube 25 mm. Total load is 40 kilonewton, that is 40 into 10 raised to 3 newtons. So modulus of elasticity, it is given in 200 gigapascal converting Newton per mm square. So area of the steel rod AS, it is a solid basically, so no need to subtract external diameter and internal diameter. So pi by 4 20 square, directly you will get the answer. Similarly, area for copper tube, as I have already said, this is a hollow copper tube which is already mentioned in the question. So I have taken pi by 4 external diameter square minus internal diameter square, 30 square minus 25 square. So you will get it as 216 mm square. And as we have solved in previous case, use this compatibility condition and get an equation in terms of sigma s is equal to something of sigma c. So I got sigma s is equal to 2 into sigma c. Next, use the last equation, P is equal to PS plus PC. Okay, so steel plus copper tube. Okay, and observe carefully, you have steel, you have two steel bars. So I have used 2 into, you have two, wait a second. Okay, so 40 into 10 raised to 3. So sigma S into AS plus sigma C into AC. Okay, so observe carefully, sigma S is 2 into sigma C, which we have already derived. So back substitute this 2 sigma C into 3114.2 plus as it is sigma C into AC area. So you will get it as 844.4 sigma C. So once again, use this condition and use the condition sigma C is equal to 2 into sigma C. You will get the stress in copper tube as 47.4 megapascal and stress in steel as 94.8 megapascal. Okay. So this question I'll give it as an assignment to you, which is already given in the WhatsApp notes. Okay. So whatever the things I have discussed now, use the same concepts and try to solve this. So to summarize, today we have learnt compound bars and numerical examples related to compound bars. Okay. So in the next class we shall study temperature stresses. That's all for today's class. Thank you.